San Francisco, California, also known as the city by locals, and San Fran and Frisco by people from yonder. The city is home to a unique breed of Bay Area residents, your Golden State Warriors, San Francisco Giants, a number of tech giants, and Carl the Fog. All around the city, you can find beauty within every neighborhood you come across, such as North Beach, Chinatown, Sunset, Russian Hill, and the Presidio, to name a few. Each neighborhood is rich with its own unique history, but as San Francisco has transformed into the 12th largest metropolitan city in the U.S. over the last century, it seems like its history is getting more and more swept under the rug. The Presidio is the most historic neighborhood in San Francisco, but do residents really know that? Do locals know even a little bit of what really happened at the Presidio? Just in case you're ever asked what the real hidden stories behind Presidio are, I'll tell you a little bit about it. To start, Presidio is a very big and pretty park, but in the eyes of some tourists, passing through Presidio may look like this, and this. But before I get into that, let me spit some facts for you. The Presidio is currently a 1,480 acre park and formerly a U.S. Army post. Prior to that, Presidio had been a fortified location since September 17, 1776, when New Spain established the Presidio to gain a foothold in Alta California and the San Francisco Bay Area. Eventually, it passed to Mexico in 1820, which in turn passed to the U.S. in 1848. In 1989, Congress voted to end the Presidio status as an active military installation of the U.S. Army, and in 1994, transferred it to the National Park Service, ending 219 years of military use and beginning its next phase of mixed commercial and public use. Now let's get to the hidden stories behind Presidio. Before Crissy Field was used for picnics and as a hangout spot, it was territory belonging to the Ramaytush Ohlone, which is a description of the Native American people of the Northern California coast who lived in areas around the bay. Crissy Field was used by the Ohlone in numerous ways. It was a trading post for many different local native tribes and used as a seasonal village because of the cold, but when Europeans arrived, it was taken by force and eventually used by the U.S. as a landing strip. When the Presidio transferred to the National Park Services, Crissy Field was restored to how it looked when it was originally used by the Ohlone Native Americans. Also located in Crissy Field is a Military Intelligence Service Historic Learning Center, the previous home to the 4th Army Intelligence School in 1940. Students consisted of 58 Japanese American soldiers recruited by the U.S. Army who secretly trained them for military linguistics. While being trained, President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066 in 1942 in response to the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, resulting in Japanese Americans being rounded up and evicted from their homes in the western United States and thrown into concentration camps. The last hidden story I'll share is about Presidio's National Cemetery, a burial site of a Medal of Honor awardee and many of the Buffalo Soldiers, the inspiration behind Bob Marley's hit song, Buffalo Soldier. Anyways, Buffalo Soldiers were African American soldiers who served in the Old West, Cuba, and the Philippines. They also served in the Presidio in 1903 and 1904 and were the first African American Army unit that was asked to escort the current U.S. President at the time, Teddy Roosevelt, in San Francisco in 1903. Because there were no national park rangers, Buffalo Soldiers became the first park rangers, protecting the park from poachers, shepherds, and trespassers. Approximately 460 Buffalo Soldiers have been estimated to be buried in San Francisco's National Cemetery. In conclusion, we were briefly able to uncover the hidden stories about the Ohlone Native Americans being natives on Crissy Field, Japanese American soldiers who were recruited by the U.S. to secretly work in the Presidio, and then forced into concentration camps, and about the legendary Buffalo Soldiers buried in San Francisco's National Cemetery. If any of this historic information about Presidio is new to the audience, don't worry, I just found out myself, but at least some of Presidio's hidden stories have been uncovered. Fortunately, there are plenty of other hidden secrets about Presidio that I could not uncover due to time constraints. But still, there is 1,480 acres of a park with a lot of history, and if you are a lover of history, I challenge you to uncover hidden stories about Presidio that tend to get lost in history.